Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. The sun is kind of like in my face, so I don't really know how to fix that. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about the gas hoarding that's going on. It's really weird, like if you think about it, what humans do during a crisis, you know? The other day, the day after everybody found out, that there was a problem with the gas line, that, there might not be gas, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows the story. I needed gas really bad. I was well below half a tank, and I need to get to and from work. So I went early in the morning, like before my job, and there was like, maybe 3 cars getting gas, like a normal day. Well, when I got out of work, like all day online, it was like everybody was hoarding and there was like mile-long lines to the gas stations. And then like when I got out of work the last 2 days, it has been absolutely crazy. Like I would try to drive home and there's like mile-long lines of cars and it's ridiculous. And then online you see people like hoarding gas in gas cans or whatever they can find. And then last night they had stated online that they had fixed the line, they had fixed everything, and gas should be, should be fine now. Just people need to stop hoarding so they can kind of like catch up, distribute whatever they need to do. But just in general, I think the concentrating on people hoarding and getting ridiculous about it, it's insane. Like if you think about it, people did this during the pandemic with the toilet paper and the sanitizer and the cleaning products and like food items, and like I saw a lot of it because when we first moved down here, I was trying to find any job I could find so we could pay rent, and I ended up being a cashier at a grocery store because I knew how to do that. I did that as a side job, in previous years. So I ended up being a cashier, and it's just like every week it seemed like sanitizer was out and everything like that was out, and toilet paper, and it was hard to find cleaning products. And I'm like, I need to find some cleaning products to clean my house, or I would like some sanitizer for my car, because I have, like, not extreme OCD, but I have little tiny OCDs, like, being cleanly in public, and I always have, and it was something that I kind of kept quiet because, honestly, I'm not, like, very OCD. There's just little things that bother me, and I like to be clean. So it's like, before this pandemic, I feel like, I just never voiced little things, like my little OCDs. I lived not too far from New York City. I lived like 2 hours from New York City at the time. So when we would commute on the train down there and then we would take the subways, I would always make sure I used hand sanitizer, before and after subways. I never liked to touch the poles or the railings or anything like that, because you didn't know how many millions of people a day were touching that stuff, those surfaces, and hanging onto those, side railings and poles in the middle and everything, and you had no idea when they were cleaned. You didn't. And this is stuff I always thought about before the pandemic. Like, touching doorknobs and things like that in public. I never liked public restrooms. Things like that. Like, things you think about now because of the pandemic were things I always had thought about before. I wasn't, like, in panic mode about touching a doorknob, and some people might be, and that's okay. But I'm just saying, for me in general, I was just always conscious of being clean, and, when I was a little kid, my grandma made us wash our hands after coming back from the mall or a grocery store. And when I was a kid, I never really understood why. I was like, why? I don't think we touched anything, but we did. But just in general, like, hoarding is absolutely ridiculous. And I think it makes no sense. Because, like, if there's a shortage of something, and then you have, you know, all these people going and hoarding what there isn't much of, you're gonna be leaving nothing by being selfish for the people that need it. You know, what about the people that needed to get to work? What if the people, you know, if I didn't get gas in the morning before work, I don't know if I would have been able to make it to work for the next couple of days to the next week. We didn't know how long it was going to be out. And that's what I think bothers me, is just people go crazy, and there's really no need for it. And I understand, you know, fight or flight if you need to survive, but it's like, it really isn't that big of a deal. I feel like if every person just filled up their gas tank in their car and that was it, it would have been fine. But people were hoarding in gas tanks, and people were hoarding in, you know, other containers that they can find, and they were like really just taking it all. And it's like, if there's a shortage of something, it's common sense to not sit there and take it all and be selfish. And I think that's what my issue is with these things, is when people hoard, it is always selfish. Like, people don't think, oh, maybe an older person needs this thing more than I do, or, oh, okay, you know, I really don't need to go anywhere. Maybe other people really do need the gas to get to work, or, you know, they have a longer commute. Stuff like that. So it's just like, all I wanted to say basically about this was just be mindful. If something like this happens again, it is sort of funny to laugh at some of these people, but if this happens again, just be mindful of, you know, be mindful of everything. Be mindful of other people in the world and not just you. Be mindful of the fact that there is a shortage of whatever it is, and, you know, just be mindful. It's common sense. Please use common sense and be mindful, and know that other people need whatever it is that there's a shortage of. Because if everybody just filled their gas tank in their car instead of hoarding it in containers and things like that, I think everything would have been fine. But everybody had to go and panic, and that's just kind of absolutely ridiculous. If you agree with me, comment below. If you don't agree with me, whatever, comment below. I would love to hear what your guys, you know, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And I hope everyone has a great day.